Hey guys, my name is Kayla. I am a brand new loan signing agent in Arizona, and I wanted to take you along parts of my journey. I know I searched YouTube like crazy trying to find some information about how to be a loan signing agent and reviews on certain courses just to see which one was best for me. And I didn't feel like there was a ton, especially from people here in Arizona. I wanted to see more Arizona specific content and I didn't see any. So I figured, fine, I'll make it. Okay, so to start out, I have to give credit to Mark Wills. I took his loan signing system course, the six-figure course. I believe there's three different kinds. The six-figure course is the most expensive course, but it comes with a ton of resources. And I wanted to immerse myself in this business and learn the most that I could. So I chose a six-figure course. I do believe that there are payment plans that you can get on. So if that's not something you can afford, you can definitely check out the payment plan option. I'm going to leave a link to the loan signing system in the course in the description below, so you guys can check that out. I started this process back in June and made so many mistakes at first. So I learned very quickly that part of being a notary is paying attention to detail, and that starts with the Arizona application. So in Arizona, you don't have to take a test. You don't have to do any classes or anything like that. You essentially just go on to the Secretary of State's website. You can fill out an application, send in a payment, and then send in a bond, a $5,000 bond, which I think I purchased for like $35. So process to become a notary is pretty simple. Just make sure you read the directions. So what happened with mine, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So things happen a little bit slower these days. Applications get processed slower. So the first time I sent my application in, my notary application asked for my middle initial. So put that on my notary application. And then when I went to purchase my bond, I just put my first and last name. So they rejected my application because they said that if I'm commissioned with a middle initial and I don't have a middle initial on my bond, it doesn't protect me properly. So I had to wait 4 weeks for that rejection, get the bond company to create a rider, and then send that application in again and wait another 4 to 5 weeks for my notary application to be approved. In that time, I did purchase Mark's course and I started going through his course slowly, to be honest. I had a lot going on this summer. I sold my house, I moved, I went on several vacations. We're in the middle of a pandemic, like I said, so I'm working remote. My full-time job, I'm working remote. So I went and I worked from Montana, I went to Utah, Washington, all of these different places. So I decided to just take the course at my own speed, and it took me until I believe August to pass the course. So it took me about 6 weeks, I guess, to go through the course and get loan signing system certified. Then I went to the National Notary Association, the NNA, and I got my E&O insurance, got my background check, I got my notary essentials certificate from the NNA, and essentially just started studying loan documents. I asked every friend for any kind of loan documents they have. So I had a friend who had a refi and a purchase, and she was kind enough to bring me her loan documents. So I was able to study those. And then a few weeks, or about a week ago, it was exactly a week ago, I started signing up for signing services. And this was after just encouragement from people who I know who were like, dude, you're ready, just jump in. But honestly, I was like paralyzed with fear to start signing. I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to cause like funding delays. I didn't want to cause closing delays. I didn't want to burn bridges if I did something wrong. But at the end of the day, I've really learned that if you make a mistake, which mistakes are going to happen, it's all about taking accountability for your mistake and owning up to it and then just fixing it the best you can. So I did my first signing on Saturday, and I was going to just share some tips with you about my first signing. So my first signing was from Signature Closers. which is like a notary database. And the signing service that hired me is Simple Signings, I believe. I got a notice on Friday afternoon for a signing on Saturday morning at 6:30 a.m. And I pressed accept. And then when I got a call that I had gotten the signing, I was shaking, like shaking with fear. So I couldn't back out. I was already on the signing. So what I did was I called the signing service, and I said, hey, I'm on, so-and-so loan closing, and I just wanted to know when I could expect the documents. So they told me it was about 2:00 in the afternoon on a Friday. They told me to check back at like 4:30 or 5. Typically, they check for docs around that time. So I looked at 5, there were no documents, and I'm like, okay, I'll call again before they close for business. So I called and they were like, we'll check. You're right. The documents aren't in there. We will check for you when the documents should arrive. So the documents ended up arriving around 9 p.m. that night, which is like not ideal when you need to wake up for a 6:30 a.m. signing, which means I wanted to leave my house by 6. So I was up at 4:30. So early. So once I got the documents, essentially what I did was I have some tools here that I was going to show you guys. I have this little bin of like my notary tools. So I have these flags to flag any signatures, initials, dates, anything like that that I don't want to miss. And then I have my notarized flags. You can see those. I ordered these on Amazon super cheap. And then I ended up getting a ton of sticky notes, and any document that I thought I was going to have a hard time explaining if I were nervous, that I would maybe forget, or it's not easily identifiable in like the first sentence of the form, I ended up writing definitions on my sticky notes and then putting it on the document. So as I went through the paperwork, I could read the sticky note, take the sticky note off, and pass it over to the signer. So that ended up working really well, other than the embarrassing pile of like sticky notes and flags, like signature flags that I had on this guy's countertop. Other than that, I felt super prepared going into it. I also want to encourage you, if you're starting out on this journey and you're getting into your first signing, find a mentor. So Mark Wills obviously is a mentor to anyone who takes the loan signing system, but find a mentor who's local to you, who knows your state laws. If you have to find a local Facebook group, you can. So the loan signing system has state Facebook groups. So the Arizona Loan Signing System Facebook group has an ambassador. And I've introduced myself to her and I've asked her questions, and she has made herself available to me to ask questions. So I was able to text her like pictures of documents and just confirm, because I knew in my head, I knew the answer to it, but I just needed that like extra confirmation and affirmation that I was doing everything right. So she was there for me until 10 o'clock that night, helping me with any questions as I was going through documents, which was like, oh, you guys, that was so invaluable to me. So I would highly recommend joining a local Facebook group to your like metropolitan area or your state where you're located, and find a mentor in the group who's active and seems like they know what they're talking about. Feel free, shoot them a message, ask them, hey, you are an expert in this. I can tell by your posts and the way you answer questions. I was just wondering if you would be willing to help a newbie out like myself, if I have any questions during my first few signings. People, for one, love their ego stroke. So if you tell them that they're a rock star, they're going to be like, oh, thank you. And probably be available to you. So I would recommend getting like 1 or 2 people's phone numbers. So if one person isn't available and you have an urgent question, you have a backup person that you can go to. That's what I did. Another thing that I use is if you're able to use this in your state, I highly recommend the Modern Journal of Notarial Events. This allows you to keep track of exactly what kind of documents. So in here, it's a description of all the documents that you can sign in a loan signing. So I kept track of every document that I notarized. So I had 3 notarizations in my first signing, and I kept track of it in here, and then also in the software that I use, Notary Gadget. So my first signing, it took 45 minutes. The guy was like not interested in getting more than just a brief description and me telling him where to sign, which was great. He was really chill, was very like low pressure. And so today I'm going to call the title agency. I'm going to track. I did have to FedEx this package over to Portland, where the other co-borrower is living and going to be signing today. So the loan is supposed to close tomorrow. And so my prayer is that I didn't make any mistakes or errors. I didn't miss any signatures or sign where they weren't supposed to sign or whatever. So I'm going to call, check up on that, make sure they got the documents, and then just do a brief follow-up. And if I made a mistake, I'm going to say, I just want to know if I made a mistake so I can take care of that right away, and get those documents FedEx to you by loan closing tomorrow. So that's the goal today. I will keep you guys updated on the signing. I plan on doing 1 video a week. Like I said, I've completed 1 signing, so I am not an expert by any means. I just wanted to bring you guys along on this journey with me because this is content that I was looking for when I was beginning my journey in the summer. And I didn't find a ton of content like this, especially Arizona specific. So if you guys have any questions, I'll link some stuff like the link to the Modern Journal, which I got on Amazon online, and then Mark Will's loan signing system. Otherwise, next week I'm going to show you how I organize all of my coursework and how I kind of prepared for my first signing. So hope you guys found this useful. I am happy to be here with you guys and bringing you along on this journey. It's going to be exciting, and I'm freaking nervous. So you guys are going to hear all about it. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.